Hi everyone, welcome to the fifth passage of RC99, and today we are going to see the next passage which talks about various voters across the United States elect a president. So the fifth passage. Want to give the passage a read? Quickly give the passage a read. It's not a very tough passage and you will be able to relate it also with the news events that happens around us, that keeps on happening around us even also. Okay, so pause it and play it back. Let me show you the next part of the RC and the questions. So here is the next part of the RC. Pause it and play it back. I want you guys to give it a read on your own also. Because see, if I spoon feed you with explaining each and every line, it will not serve the purpose. I would like you guys also to understand it on your own and read it. And then of course we are going to solve the questions in detail, in depth. Okay, how it was the answer, how it got eliminated, everything. Okay, for the passage part I will just provide you the summary. Hey, hope you paused the video and played it back to get the answer. This one, this one. Okay, so what was the passage all about? What was this entire passage all about? Well, this entire passage is discussing the role of television debates basically in the US presidential election, and the issue of the media coverage, particularly the use of the pool system, and in how the pool system restricts the access to these media coverage to these events. And the passage argues that the pool system limits free flow of information, and the pool system violates the First Amendment's mandate. They might be having some amendment, in that amendment might be some rule regarding that. What is it? For a free pass. So the pool system violates the amendment's mandate for a free pass. Authors suggest that dividing television news media into categories could be a solution to provide diverse coverage. So that's all for this passage. So dividing TV media into categories, division, it can be a solution. That's it. So hopefully you got this message itself from the passage. Now let us address each of the questions. So the first question says, what is the author of the passage primary concern? That is, it is talking about what is the main idea. Now look at the options. Let's do the elimination. Well, A says arguing in favor of giving more rights to individual broadcasters. Is author providing more rights to individual broadcaster? Does author want that? Well, primary concern doesn't allow the arguing in favor of more rights to individual broadcaster. That was not discussed and that was not the main concern. Concern was regarding the problem that certain and giving a solution at the end. You know what, guys? Main idea of an RC is just similar to para summary. In para summary, we summarize the entire RC in one line. No, same is with the primary passage concern. Same is with the main idea question. Find a line that will try to broadly cover the passage. Let's go with B. Describing the pool system of coverage of events. What? Point number B is so incomplete. Doesn't even make sense. So how can it be the primary concern? Primary concern, find something that is covering the passage broadly, trying to cover all the message. C says asserting that the First Amendment needs to be amended. First Amendment needs to be amended. Was it asserted? Yeah, that needs to be amended. Or was it even the main idea? No, if it were the main idea, it would have been discussed more often. So it won't be C. D. Describing a problem with media coverage of certain events. Yeah, quite true. And suggesting a solution. Wow, look at the both the parts. It has two parts and both the parts represents the portion of the passage. This portion represents the solution passage and this portion represents the problem passage, and then the topic is media coverage of certain events. Not necessary that you will write down the poll or the pool system, then only it will become true. Not necessary. But D has a bigger coverage of the passage. D is the primary concern. D looks like a very good answer. What about E? Criticizing American presidential election system. Was the election system being criticized? No, it was not there. So definitely the answer is D. Okay, Hopefully your answer was right. If not, or if you need more explanation of something, definitely comment it, I will help you out. Now let's see question number 2. Which of the following claims does the passage provide some support for? So there will be an option whose solid concrete proof will be there in this passage. And if you find more than one option to be having a proof in the passage, choose that option that will support the passage in a broader way. Why? Because the question is talking about the passage in a broader way. Well, option number A reads, news organization tend not to cooperate with each other. That is false, because in the passage it was written that one broadcast is being shared with the other news organization. So if they do not cooperate, how will they share? So it's not A. What about B? Most presidential candidates fare poorly in TV debates because they are not good public speaker. Well, calling them as not good public speaker, not poor in TV debates, that's a wrong information. That does not caters to support. I mean, see, this cannot be supported, because if they are not good public speaker, I mean, see, this kind of information we do not have any proof to support in the passage. So this is an absurd information. Let's check C. Current news coverage of presidential debate limits the information available to the public. That's quite true. We can actually get proof of option number C, because that the passage also argued no, that poll system has limited access to different perspective of the media. So if different perspective access is limited, then the information available to the public is limited. So third one has a very strong support or proof in the passage. What about D and E? D says foreign news organization have generally been uninterested. Guys, foreign news was not the topic. Foreign news media was not even in the situation of this passage. It is out of scope. It is beyond the scope of the passage. D gets eliminated. So our answer should be limited to the scope of the passage only, right? E says pool system also has its positive point. What are the positive points? It's an incomplete option. We cannot go with E. So we are left with option C. Any doubt? Comment it. I will help you. Now, last two questions. Author of this passage would probably give his greatest support to which action? Now, since author will support what? Now, find an option which resonates with the author's idea. What was author saying? Well, we all know that author will say something that should support, like author has criticized the pool system, so maybe something you can get regarding the pool system, maybe since pool system was what, like not much variety was there and everything. Let's see what option A says. Option A says a decision to allow more news service to cover presidential debate. Well, decision to allow more news service to cover presidential debate, this will include diversity. This probably will include diversity. Author may support this. Put it on hold. Let's see if a better option comes. B says few news service. No, few will not include diversity of news. We need more news so that everything is there to the public, because as per author, public gets limited information, limited coverage. So it cannot be B. It can be A or maybe some other option depending on the strongest option. Option C says a decision to ban presidential debate until more news service. Hey, we cannot ban a presidential debate until more services are there, or we cannot ban a presidential debate until few services are there. Both C and D is not related even with the passage anyhow, because there is nothing like censor or banning something. So C and D is out of the scope of the question of the RC. It doesn't make sense. What about E? Decision to change the first amendment. See, first amendment change, that might just be a small thing, but that cannot be something which the author has said. A fact is different and an opinion is different. In some time I might take a class on fact, inference and judgment difference. So in that I will definitely explain. But this is not something that the author has said by himself. So we cannot have any proof in the author's statement for option number E. So the remaining option A is the best suited option in this given scenario. Okay. Now the last question, what role does last paragraph play in the passage? Well, generally last paragraph provides the conclusion of the entire passage, right? So in any passage, this is a general question. So no need to further eliminate, skim and scan. It says a general conclusion. So A is the perfect answer. It says a solution. There was no question for which a solution will be raised. That's why it cannot be B. C says it provides genuine guideline. What guideline? There is nothing like guideline. Guideline means first you do this, then that. Guideline looks like some kind of instruction that you have to follow in future. Nothing like that was there in the last paragraph. It was just simple conclusion of the entire passage. D says it describes an action that author opposes. No, nothing like that. Provides support. No, no, no. Concluding paragraph will never add anything new. If the last paragraph says something new, it means that is not the end of the paragraph. It means that is an incomplete paragraph, and RCs that you get generally they are complete. You never get an incomplete RC. So always remember this. So this is also a hack. This kind of question, what does the last paragraph play in the role? Well, that's generally a conclusion. So it's A. Hopefully you like the passage. Subscribe and we'll meet in the next video soon. Thank you. Bye bye.